present another one of my Elmhurst Traveler teammates into the American Football Hall of Fame. Mel Yarke is not only a teammate of mine, but he's a good friend. He lives in St. Louis, Missouri, and we recently, last year, we started the Elmhurst Traveler Football Alumni Association. We've got 36 members. Mel, who lives in St. Louis, Missouri, believe it or not, comes to our meetings. He flies down for the meeting and then goes right back. You talk about enthusiasm and dedication. This guy's really got it. We both played for the Travelers in Elmhurst, Illinois. Mel played from 1955 to 1963 and played on those 3 championship teams of 1958, 1959, and 1963. And believe me, we are still smarting from getting beat by Manitowoc in that championship game in 1962 after beating them twice. And that was 47 years ago, believe me. And these guys know what I'm talking about, Norm and Larry. You know, we were reminiscing a little bit today about that. Back in the 50s and 60s, semi-pro football in our area, the Chicago area, was very dominant. Mel Yarke played on the defensive line. He was a defensive tackle. Now you call him 1 techniques, 3 techniques, 5 techniques. He can play any place that George Colton wanted him to play. George Colton was inducted in the AFA in 1986. Monk, as we called him, played for the love of the game and a few beers after the game like we all did. You guys all remember being in George Colton's basement watching the game film, drinking his grain belt beers. The only trouble is he used to count them. Remember that, Jimmy? Huh? Well, I wish we had those films back. Your dad was something else. Mel paid his dues like so many of the other semi-pro football players did in the 50s and 60s. I'm glad we haven't forgotten the players who played in that era, because they truly made semi-pro football what it is today. Yark was always there, a great teammate, and rightfully deserves this honor. You can see by his stature, I can hide behind him. With his extended enthusiasm for semi-pro football and the AFA, Yark will be a welcome and great addition to our AFA alumni team. And Jordan alluded to, we would need more people to get involved. This is one of the guys that's going to keep this going for 2010, 2011, and 2013, because his enthusiasm is catching, and that's the kind of people we need to keep the AFA going. So without anything else to do here, I'd like to present inductee Mel Yarke into the 2009 Hall of Fame.
Wow, after that kind of an introduction, what's left to say? If you notice up there, I wore number 54 in the early days of my affiliation with the Travelers. 3 years ago, my grandson drew his first football uniform at a high school he attends in Kentucky, and he drew number 54, and that was the highlight of his day. He wore the same number as his grandfather did. Great. I'd like to thank the Elmhurst Travelers Alumni Association for their confidence in me in submitting my name as a prospective Hall of Fame member, and I'd like to thank the Executive Board for their passage on my name. He was right when he said that back then we played for the love of the game because that's all there was. But one thing it did for me, and I carry it with me to this day, is it made me semi-pro and proud. Thank you very much.
Rome just reminded me, brought to my attention, we have a silent auction in the back corner if you want to do something on the way out besides the live auction, besides the raffle that we're going to do. We're still on schedule, so don't worry, we're going to keep it going.